صل وسلم وبارك عليك سيدي يا رسول الله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Surely we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we thank him. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our gathering. Allahumma ameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the blessings of Quran and to get the guidance through the Quran. Allahumma ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enlighten our path and our graves and our hearts, our surat with the Quran. Allahumma ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the intercession of the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let us be amongst the believers who are following the commands of Allah that which mentioned in the Quran. Allahumma ameen. We'll come back to another session, and I think it is the third lecture, alhamdulillah, that we're still in our journey to talk about Surah An-Nur. And Surah An-Nur means the chapter of the light. And it is the chapter number 24. Inshallah. You see Auntie Maryam, mashallah. She's awake, following, and mashallah. 24. I think we need to have a competition here, okay? And I think, alhamdulillah, we have a great zeal. But I don't know why this, those group of people, they are, leaning on the wall. It's a first sign that you are intending to sleep. Is that right? So that's the impression that you are giving to me. So I have prepared the lecture, studied, and read almost the whole day, and prepared. You are not expired, but still, mashallah, young. Okay, so pay attention, because I will come to your side with lots of questions, okay, to test you. Otherwise, yes, otherwise, have to be sure that they are not sleeping, okay? Otherwise, I failed in my mission, okay? Ajwajdi. Yeah, you are our backbone, okay? So, yes, so in this area, you are the backbone. Okay. The other area, okay. Now, I cannot argue about the other area. We have Dr. Rahim, okay, mashallah. And the main point here, we have Dr. Yusuf, mashallah. If I missed something, okay, he's not leaning yet. Yes, mashallah. May Allah bless you. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So let's continue. And I wanted to, not to lose the train, I just wanted to remind myself and to remind you as well. Surah An-Nur, chapter number 24. We spent 2 lectures talking about the main theme of the surah. And we said one of the topics that the surah dealt with, the surah, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, it is the surah that we revealed, and it is the surah that we mandated, and we made it obligatory. Suratun anzalnaha wa faradnaha. We made it obligatory, means it is the surah deals with al-hudud. And how to translate al-hudud? The limits, the restrictions. So you as a Muslim, you are fine. You are in a good shape as long as you did not go beyond the limits. You did not exceed those limits. That's why in multiple occasions in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns the believers. And he said, Tilka hududullah. These are the limits of the Sharia, the restrictions. Do not get even close. Allah said, Tilka hududullahi fala taqrabuha. Do not get even close to these limits. Not even, we are not talking about exceeding the limits, no. Do not get even close to the limits. That's the real Muslim. That's why if you have an issue, which is what we call it semi-haram, is not clear haram, but it is called semi-haram. Do you know the Arabic term for the semi-haram, what we call it in the Sharia? Shubuhat. Shubuhat. Mutashabihat means similarities. Okay, but shubuhat, that is something you have a little bit of doubt in it. So they said the real Muslim comes to the shubuhat and he even avoided. and that has something, a higher level of iman. So let me, in other words, let me make it clear. The one who try not to get close or not to exceed the limits, we call it taqwa. We call it taqwa. But even in some cases, when you stay away from the semi-haram, the things that it's like is not clear enough to you, that means you have a great level of taqwa. And listen to the third level. The third level, something which is halal, but you see it might be a gate for the shaitan to come through. So you voluntarily choose to leave it. And that has a certain term in Islam. It is called what? If you get it, you will get $10 tomorrow. Not today, because I don't have cash. Tomorrow. If you knew the term, $10. Not ihsan. Okay. So no. You avoid it. You avoid even what is halal sometimes, because you do not want the fitna of the shaitan or the entertainment of the dunya to distract you. It is called one. No. One. Okay. No, that's a good help. Okay. It is called al-wara. 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 Someone is yatawarra. Yatawarra means voluntarily he decided to avoid or to stay away from even what is halal. That is called wara. And the Sahaba during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to practice wara, by the way. Okay, nowadays you have Muslims arguing about not wara, not semi-haram. They argue about what? What's clearly haram. Subhanallah, may Allah protect us. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah make us amongst those who have wara in their relationship with Allah. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So let's dive in. Surah An-Nur, surah for the hudud, the limits. And actually tonight I will give you a quick summary of the three things that Allah started the surah with, because I have a story I wanted to tell you about. Allah had mentioned in this surah, and it correlates with the three laws, with the three rules that Allah had mentioned. There is a link between them. The first rule about those who are committing adultery, fornication, zina. May Allah protect us from zina. And even zina, Allah did not say do not commit zina. Allah said what? Do not approach, do not get close to the relationship that will lead you to zina. Okay? So about zina, Allah is talking about the rules. What is going to happen if someone had confessed that he did zina, or he had witnesses that he did zina. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said he has to be punished with what? 100 flogs, 100 hits with the wives and with the whips. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said 100 flogs. And this is what we call it hudud. Allah said, وَلَا تَأْخُذْكُمْ بِهِمَا رَأْفَةٌ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ. And do not feel sympathy towards them while you are executing the hudud or the punishment that Allah had legislated. And of course, it has lots of details. Who needs to do that? Is the average person, the average Muslim can do that by himself? Of course not. That is within the court system. When you have a Muslim country, when you have a whole system that works through the legal channels, And that is something we need to be aware of. And also, who has the authority to do that? Not anyone. And it has certain conditions when you are, good to do that within the Islamic Sharia. So the first one is the rule of committing fornication, adultery. That's number one. Number two is talking about the false accusation of fornication. Someone, a man or a woman, had accused a woman of doing fornication while she didn't. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said they have to bring what? Witnesses, 4 witnesses. Otherwise, they have to be punished with 80 flogs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here made it clear, if you did not apply this, that will lead for a corruption in the society. And that tells you about the hudud of Allah. But I just wanted to highlight one term here. Allah said, those who are throwing al-muhsanat al-mu'minat, the believers who are muhsanat. What's the translation of muhsanat? Muhsanat, yes, fully protected within the fortress of Islam, and she is married. That is muhsanat, or she was married. Those who are accusing those, and they try to destroy their dignity in the society, and it happens a lot. Someone without having any evidence, or a lady, a man, so a lady for accident, or someone walking with her, someone just met her, and he started to accuse her without any evidence. You know what? She just left his car. She just came from, without clear evidence. Allah is telling us, whether you have a clear evidence, whether you have 4 witnesses, otherwise, who is going to protect the dignity of the believers? If that point has no rules in Islam, so that means what? Your wife could be accused. Your daughter can be accused. Your sister can be accused. Your mother can be accused, right? That's why we have the hudud in Islam. Do not get closer to the hudud. Do not approach these hudud, otherwise you will be in trouble. And sometimes you might see, Imam, but that's a severe punishment. Wait, who did that? Me? You? Who legislated that? Allah. And after Fajr today, we said a part of a verse in Surah Al-Mulk, when Allah said, "Ala ya'lamu man khalaq wa huwa al-latif al-khabir." Isn't He aware of what He created? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yes, of course. So He is fully aware of our system and how it works. And this is what Allah had legislated. And that is, remember, I told you how many rules? 3 rules. The one for adultery or fornication. Number 2, false accusation. And number 3, more specific to the false accusation between the spouses. Right? A man accused his wife of doing that. And that means, like, no one could see that. How can you come with 4 witnesses? Yes, this is what I'm going to. So he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ أَزْوَاجَهُمْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ شُهَدَاءُ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ. So those who are throwing their wives or their husbands, by the way, that is for both, and they have no witnesses except themselves. A man who saw that and he couldn't find in this particular moment 4 witnesses. Can you imagine? Someone found that, how, like, go and do announcements on WhatsApp group? No. Subhanallah, he cannot find 4 witnesses, but the relationship cannot come back as it was after what he saw. And she is denying. If she admitted, okay, she acknowledged it, that's another story. But if she denied, what is the solution? Allah said at that time they have to come up with 5 times of making an oath. The first 4 that he will say, I swear that she dead, 4 times. And the 5th oath, that the curse of Allah will be upon me if I was wrong. And from her side, after the oath, if she came and acknowledged, that means the problem solved. And if she's still denying, what can she do to defend herself? To come up with 5 oaths, 5 times of making an oath. The first 4 that she is denying, I didn't do that, I didn't make that. And the 5th one, that the anger of Allah will be upon me if I did so. And then what is going to happen? The judge has to give the final decision of separating them, because the relationship will not come back as it was. Life will not come back as long as they came to that point. And imagine, you might say, but why the separation? Why? Imagine if he is insisting and she is insisting and no witnesses. If you brought them together again, what is going to happen? He might kill her, right? So for her protection, Islam said no. Do what? Separation. That's why. Think about this. We are talking about the hudud of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I told you the 3 rules, but I promised that we are going to talk about a story. What are the verses right after these rules? The incident of Sayyida Aisha, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What we call it in Islam, or in the books of Islam, the books of the religion, we call it Hadithatul Ifk, the incident of the false accusation of the mother of the believers. And again, to make the long story short, and please pay attention because we have some of the names we are going to mention. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one day, while he's coming back from one of the battles, it is called the battle of Bani al-Mustaliq. Bani al-Mustaliq. While he's coming back, and he has what? He has the army, the Muslims, and he used to take one of his wives sometimes with him. And at that time, Sayyida Aisha was with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Rasulullah used to prepare a special ride for Sayyida Aisha. Of course, you saw that sometimes in the movies. On the camel, they have howdaj. What's the howdaj? Looks like what? Like a cabin or a tent, a cabin, and it has curtains from the sides, and 4 men can carry this howdaj, and they put it on the ground. And if she wanted to go for the ride, they carry it, put it on the camel, and it has curtains from the side to have her own privacy. That is her own special, like princess. That's her own special ride. And she was coming back with the caravan, with the battle, with the army, with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they went to the rest area, what we call it nowadays. They wanted to take rest. And they put that howdage on the ground so she can take rest, stretch muscles, walk a little bit, get to the restroom. And actually, they decided to spend the night on this area, or some of the night. So she wanted to go to the bathroom, the restroom. And she went in the dark to the restroom. And while she is coming back, she figured out that she lost her necklace. And can you imagine to lose a necklace in the darkness, and in the darkness of the desert? And she decided that she has to go back to search for the necklace. And why that necklace is so special? Do you know why? Because it was a gift from Sayyidah Khadija to Rasulullah, and from Rasulullah to Sayyidah Aisha. That's a special necklace. She went back, and at that time, the whole caravan, there is no cell phones, no iPhones, no Twitter, no announcement on WhatsApp. You do not have Imam Ahmad to send you on broadcast or every time a message, nothing. They decided all of a sudden to leave. And the 4 men came and they carried the howdage, and she was thin, like she was like lightweight. They thought that she is inside the howdage. And they put it on the camel, they started to move. She got her necklace, and she came back to the place. She found none. No one stayed there. So what can she do? She decided, she got a very smart decision at that time. She decided to stay at the same spot. I will not go to another way. Maybe they will mess me. They will come from another road. I will take another road. It will end up being lost in the desert. She decided to stay. And at that time, the Muslims had a certain technique. With every battle, they used to have a scout, someone following like 2 miles in the back, coming after them in case if they missed something, if they lost something. They used to have that scout. At that time, when she stayed at night, the rest of the night, she decided to sleep a little bit, to take a rest till they come back. In the morning, one of the companions who was working as a scout came to the area, and he found that there is someone is sleeping over there. When he got close, he figured out that this is the mother of the believers, the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyidah Aisha. And what's the name of this man? Safwan ibn al-Mu'attal. Again, Safwan ibn al-Mu'attal. One more time, Safwan ibn al-Mu'attal. So when he saw that there is a lady is sleeping, and he looked at her, he realized that this is a Sayyidah Aisha. And you might ask, Imam, how could he realize her face, recognize her? Because before the ayah of the hijab, he saw her without the shield, without the niqab, without the covering of the face. But now he realized, he recognized her. So he said what? What's the first reaction? He said, and that might shock you. He said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Because what? This is what? Musibah. This is musibah. The wife of Rasulullah alone in the desert. There's something wrong. When he said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, she woke up. She covered her face, and with all adab, etiquette, he brought his camel and he put the camel down and he moved ahead. Why? Just to give her a space so she could ride the camel. Look at the adab. He didn't stand next to her because she wanna, go to ride the camel. He wanted to give her privacy, lowering his gaze, and he came back and he started to pull the camel while she is up there. Till he came to the Medina. And who saw that scene? Yes, exactly. I told you, Dr. Rahim is here. Okay, that's why I feel secure, alhamdulillah. So at that time, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, the head of the hypocrites, saw that scene. That's something normal. This is his mother, the mother of all the believers. No one could think that. And even he didn't say that explicitly. You know how the rumors are going, even within the communities nowadays. Like some of the sisters, you know what? I don't know how did they got that money? Her husband got a new car. Wow, that's a very expensive car. Do you think that? They don't talk, but just they spread the word like that. I think that person, you see that lady, she had gold. Do you think she had a fight with her husband? That's why he wanted to do good with her. That's why he brought her that gold. Do you see the necklace that she had on the wedding? Do you see? That spreads like that. And astaghfirullah, what's going with such weddings? They meet one another. Oh, is that the same dress that you attended the aqiqah in Newport Richey Masjid with? Oh, I cannot believe that. Your husband is so stingy. He cannot find you a new dress. You see? And what ends? What happens after the wedding? Fight. And you find the husband next day coming to visit the imam. Imam, do you have a space in your office so I can sleep tonight? That happens, wallahi. This is the case. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directed us to stop these kinds of, conversations. Stop that. And the head of the hypocrites, he said these words. And this word, that statement started to spread like storm in the Medina. At that time, who was heard? Rasulullah Muhammad. The dignity of Sayyidah Aisha is the dignity of Rasulullah. Actually, it is the dignity of Islam as a religion. And she was raised up in the house of whom? Of Abu Bakr. And the wife of whom? Of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And women used to come to Sayyidah Aisha to talk with her. And she cries, and they wanted to relieve her pain. And finally, she said what? She was so intelligent, have the iman in Allah. She said, لا أقول لكم إلا كما قال يعقوب لأبنائه فصبر جميل الله المستعان على ما تصفون. I cannot tell you anything except what Yaqub, the father of Yusuf, said to his children, فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. I have nothing to do except having the beautiful patience. Means what? I will find beauty in my patience. And Allah is the only one I will resort to. I will rely on. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what happened? After short time, some days, the verses that I'm telling you about came. And of course, Rasulullah, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, all of them, they were in a state of sadness, not because of what people said, but because of the sin that some people started to commit. Even some of the relatives of Sayyidah Khadija, of Sayyidah Aisha, some of the relatives of Sayyidina Abu Bakr, and one of them, a man, Sayyidina Abu Bakr used to give him what? Sadaqah every month. He used to spend on him. He was one of the rumors who talked against Sayyidah Aisha. And just imagine, someone you spend on him, you give him sadaqah, and all of a sudden, he's accusing your own daughter. What do you feel? That was a calamity in the house of Rasulullah, in the house of Sayyidah Aisha, in the house of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And all of a sudden, Rasulullah is waiting for something, looking at the sky, waiting for the revelation. And all of a sudden, Allah, the Creator, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, is sending Jibreel alayhi salam with a revelation, with the Quran that we recite till the day of judgment. Allah sent verses after verses, is talking, and a certificate from Allah that Aisha is innocent. Allah said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا بِالْإِفْكِ عُصْبَةٌ مِّنْكُمْ لَا تَحْسَبُوهُ شَرًّا لَكُمْ بَلْ هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Those who came up with the false accusation, they are like criminals. They are spreading lies in the society, telling the false accusation in the community. Allah called them usbah. Usbah. And the way that I wanted to describe usbah, you know, when you have some groups, they are buying and selling drugs, and they have weapons, and they are, you know, what we call it with the modern expression, gangs. Yes, when you have gangs, and then they have leader, and they are spreading in the city, shooting everyone, selling drugs. This is what we call it, usbah. So Allah said, those who said that, they are like usbah. They are like criminals. They give just false accusation. But Allah said, لا تحسبوه شرا لكم. Do not think it is something bad, it is something evil for you, but it is something good for you. And that takes us to the next lesson for tomorrow. لعل الخير يكمن في الشر. Maybe you find goodness is hiding within the evil. How comes? How comes you might find goodness within the evil? That is for tomorrow, inshallah Rabbil Alameen. I acknowledge that I took too much time today, but because that's a whole story. You cannot cut the story and lose the track. Inshallah, tomorrow we will continue, if Allah give us time, with other lessons from Surah An-Nur. I took you from a journey from Richey to to Medina, to the Ghazwa, to the house of Rasulullah, to the journey with the Quran. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the barakah through the Quran and the guidance through the Quran. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.